One thing I love about this donut recipe is that you only need to prove once, and I'm using soft rising flour and my active dry yeast. Welcome back to my channel. I just added 2 tablespoons of sugar to my water and added 1.5 tablespoon of my active dry yeast, and I'm adding 2.5 cup of flour. And I'm going to mix it and add in 1 egg and 1 tablespoon of melted butter. If this is your first time of stopping by my channel, you're so welcome. And if you've been here before, good to have you here once again. If you have always known that you have to prove your donut twice, then you need to watch this video to the very end, because you're going to find out how I proved this donut once and it still came out very well. It's a very easy donut recipe, yet so soft and fluffy. After adding in all my ingredients, I'm going to mix them all together. Go on now to add in my remaining melted butter and knead for as long as you can. This is not a stressful donut recipe, so my dear, don't even give yourself plenty wahala. Just knead the way you can. After getting my butter into my dough, I'm just going to knead for like 10 to 15 minutes. If it's 5 minutes, you can go for it's okay. If it's 10 minutes, do not stress yourself. In fact, my daughter was even the one that did the kneading, so she kneaded it the way she could. This is after kneading. You can see your dough is soft and it's fluffy. Normally, you would have set your donut in a bowl to proof, but my dear, no, we are moving straight to the next process because we are proving once. So now I'm going to roll. I made this donut recipe easy for anybody to try if you're a beginner, because if you do not have a donut cutter, you do not have anything to cut with, what are you going to do? Now, I am just going to roll my dough to a bit flat, at least a little bit flat. Then I'm going to go on now to cut a round shape with what I have in my kitchen. And I looked around my kitchen and I found out that I had this sweet corn thing that I used to make fried rice. And I said, look at this thing, it's going to be a good donut cutter. So I did wash it and kept it and allowed it to dry, and it did the job. As in, it's cutting the round shape for me without stress. Who needs a donut cutter when you have lots of cans and things in your kitchen? You've emptied what is in there. Wash it and use it as your donut cutter so that you wouldn't need to go to get yourself a donut cutter. I'm using anything I found in my kitchen. I have this nozzle that has always come in handy to cut a round circle in my donuts. I'm going to just dip it in flour and make a hole at the middle of my donut. Then I'm going to sprinkle my parchment paper with flour. This will help your donut slide out easily while frying or while you want to fry. And I'm going to just place them on the parchment paper. This is what I'm going to do until I fully exhaust my dough. Have you watched to this point and you haven't subscribed to Debbie's Kitchen? To subscribe, to like and share. Is it possible to make a donut recipe without having to prove twice? Will it come out nice? Will the donut be okay? Will it be fluffy? Are you sure it will work? Don't worry. Just stay tuned. You'll find out at the end of this video. So this is me. I'm done cutting all my donuts. I've exhausted my dough. I'm going to cover now and allow to proof once. I left it for about 30 to 35 minutes, and this is after proofing. Look at this bouncing baby donut. It looks so good. So we are going on now to fry. I'm sprinkling a little bit of flour. If it's bubbling slightly, I'm going to dip in my skewer. And if my skewer is bubbling slightly, you can see it bubbling slightly in the oil. I'm going to go on now to add in my donuts. So that's for that. You can see, because my donut is the parchment paper, I did dust it with flour. It's just going to leave the paper and go into the oil. It was so light. You can see the way it's floating on the oil. It fried beautifully, guys. It came out so well. As in, so why have I been doing wahala to prove my donut twice? Are you thinking what I'm thinking, sister? Are you thinking what I'm thinking? I'm just going to take it out of the oil and set in a sieve or serve it to strain it as oil. And this is what we got at the end of the day. I love the texture. It felt like bakery style donuts. The texture was really nice. So this is 2 tablespoons of sugar and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder. I am going to mix this all together and have my donuts take a bath in this mixture. As in, bathe your donut in this mixture. The cinnamon and the sugar, it's so nice in your donut recipe. And mind you, it wasn't so sugary because I didn't use so much sugar. I used less than 2.5 tablespoons of sugar. So after proofing, the donut wasn't tasting so sweet. So when I dipped it into this yummy cinnamon bath of sugar, it tasted just okay. It was so nice, guys. You need to try this recipe and tell me what you think. So I'm going to go on now and dip all my donuts in the cinnamon and donut mix. This is what anyone can try. Donut has become so easy to make. Look at them, they look so good. Now let's take a bite and find out the texture of these donuts. And it was light, you can feel it the way I'm carrying it, and also fluffy. Come on, tell me whether you're going to try this recipe out. If you would, I want you to comment, to like, to share, and to subscribe to Debbie's Kitchen for more recipe from here. Bye bye, see you next time. Good to have you here.